postgame. You guys all ready?
Guys ready? Guys, obviously very disappointing. My hat's off to them and how they came out at halftime, and they really took it to us, obviously, with explosive plays. They controlled it. We never did flip the field offensively in that third quarter at all. I don't know, we didn't have very many plays or many yards, and had an opportunity, when we came up with the interception, to give ourselves a chance. We're playing long field the whole day, and that's not good football. And but to their credit, they came in and took to us, and it's disappointing. We got a bunch of guys hurting in the locker room, and yet, I kind of said, why? These are life lessons, man. I mean, not every day does everything go just like you want it. I think the key is what you learn from it and how you're going to respond. Austin played plenty good enough for us to have a chance, and it just comes out. We had good playing coming out after half, and they just out executed us. And momentum, it was a great crowd in there, and we gave them a lot to cheer about. I thought we took them out of the game in the first half and allowed them back in, obviously, in the second. And it was a really good environment to play in. We had a lot of guys play really hard, and didn't think we particularly tackled well. Because against guys like that, man, you gotta wrap up and bring your feet. That's the way it is. So, questions?
Coach, what did you first kind of feel maybe the momentum shifting a little bit, and how hard is it to turn that around when the other team gets going like that?
Well, it really isn't when you just buckle down and make a play, and we never did offensively. The whole second half, we never, especially that third quarter, I mean, that was kind of miserable. And, we never had an opportunity to get a first down. We messed up the signal in there, which is not an excuse. You just got to go run the play and make it work. And it was loud. I'm going to tell you that it was loud down there.
What does that third quarter do to the team mentally on offense, kind of three out, not on the field very much?
Well, I think that was one of the things we were doing a pretty good job of to help our defense by staying on the field the previous couple games. And, they wore us down pretty good, and then obviously hit us with those explosive plays. I think, to me, it's not what it does to our offense, what it does to our team. That's the thing. And, we did a pretty good job of some of that stuff in the first half and created some explosives ourselves, and yet really had no explosive plays the second half.
Coach, you threw some deep balls in the first half, completed them. Second half wasn't there? Or?
No, it's one of those deals where when we were, back down in the way that they flipped the field on us a little bit, we were a little nervous with protection, I'll be honest. They've got a couple guys off the edges that are pretty good. We had, some chip plans and that kind of stuff for them. But, like I say, that first one, I think the one that to me, the series that was kind of really telling was, getting a pick down there and then just kind of not doing anything. We never did flip the field at all second half.
What about the way the game plan worked the first half?
Well, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, we had a couple drops that were huge on third down early. That could have solidified some drives, or at least allowed us to get the ball out, and maybe gain the advantage along the field, on the other side. So I thought, I thought that was big, but, you know, I thought Austin played pretty darn good, you know, for what we asked him to do.
No, it seemed like, I was kinda saying the first half, the screens, the deep balls, everything was clicking.
Yeah, it was, and, you know, there again, just, you know, we tried some screens in the second half, they didn't work. We got flush from the pocket on a couple of deep ones, and, but that's because they did a good job of taking that away.
Coach, your strong start was, I thought, punctuated by Jordan Scarlett's effectiveness. How did that, become more difficult to involve him as it went on?
Yeah, you know, we did a pretty good job in and out of some formational things and just giving them some looks. I thought Jordan kept his feet moving, you know, really well, and the guys up front did a pretty good job. You know, I think you can point to that momentum question that somebody had earlier. They took advantage of it.
Coach, with the way your defense has been playing, most people would think, hey, you're up 21-0, you would be able to count on your defense. Dobbs throws 4 touchdown
No,
passes.
I mean, he's a great player. You know, he's fun to watch. He's a guy that is ultra competitive. You know, I mean, I think when you go back and look at the film, you know, they had some drops on some of those over routes early in the game, right? And they connected on him in the second half. And you know, give him the credit. He was not to be denied tonight, and you know, I'm glad he's gone.
When you have a game that's talked about as much, as this one by your players and fans alike, what do you got to do to make sure you don't let one loss become two?
Well, you know, I think what it does is really test who you are as a person, really test who you are as a man. And, you know, in loss, in failure, some of the greatest lessons you can ever learn about who you are and what you're all about are taught. And look, this was a good football team we played. They beat us today. So that's the way it is. You can't change it. So, you know, how do you not make it two? You go back to work and you take care of the now. There's really no secret formula, but when you go ahead and start feeling sorry for yourself, someday when you have kids, man, you just don't want to talk about it.
Long way.
Injury-wise, how is everyone after the game, Coach?
Oh, injuries. I'm sorry.
We swapped questions.
No, I hear you. Chris Thompson didn't, he could only run down, I think, on 1 or 2. He popped that string again. Antonio's gonna be okay. I think we had a couple ankles. Chauncey had a shoulder, but, you know,
Coach,
we're fine. Here's what'll be interesting, and you can go ahead and write this one. Okay, we'll see how these guys respond as to who's really hurt. That'll tell you a lot. You understand what I mean? Sometimes guys get feeling sorry for themselves, and all of a sudden that little injury that is no big deal all of a sudden becomes, look, this ain't my first rodeo. I've seen this stuff. Okay, so this is gonna test a lot of guys in that locker room to see who we are and see what we're made of. And you know, I'll be interested to see.
Coach, what was going on with some of the mental, like Antonio fielding punts at the?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
You know, just it's not very smart. And you know, he caught the one right there at the 8 that we wanted him to. Heels are on the 8, don't go backwards. Same thing with Michael on the last kickoff return, you know, that made us go long field. I mean, he was 5 to 6 in, so we were gonna hold it in. But you got guys that wanna go make plays, and yet they've gotta understand that you don't do it by yourself, you do your job. It's really an interesting thing. Once you start to get a bunch of guys that are out there trying to do their own thing, that's when it fails. Especially in a team game. Now, if you wanna go play tennis and be singles, go do that. But this ain't tennis.
Do you feel maybe some of that happened on some of the busted coverages, or what do you think went on
No, I
those?
think they did a good job. They had a good plan. There wasn't a bunch that we didn't see, you know, before. But there were some formational things and some motion things that were different than what they had done, but that's what you do in every game, you know? So, that's where your rules and your discipline in how you play your position and how you do your job come in. And, we'll see on film. All right.
Can you talk about what you saw? Sorry. Can you talk about what you saw on the late ejection of Brandon Powell?
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I mean, we'll find out, I'll see it on film, obviously.
You know, Coach, last one, when players, talk before games, make guarantees, things like that,
Mhm.
and it doesn't work out, I mean, what's kind of the lesson the player takes away, you think?
Well, I hope they take a big lesson. In life, being humble, there's a lot of good things in there. As I said, back it up. They didn't back it up, did they? There might be a lesson. Thanks, guys.